Hey guys, I'm in here. We're back. As I talked about today, whenever we did the Blueface live after the breaking news, I said today I was going to look at the chart and see if this is going to be a hit or miss. Well, it looks like yesterday I was probably a little wrong when it pertains to Blueface. Okay, now how the heck he is out of jail, I don't know. However, something that I did mention yesterday whenever we read the chart was that I said that he pulled the trigger, or there was like a female in the middle of this who possibly told. I did see on my feed earlier this morning that a blog actually said that Blueface or somebody associated with Blueface has the video footage of him actually pulling the trigger, and they had actually been trying to sell the story. We were maybe like 75 or 80% correct. Okay. Again, I'm still a little bit shocked that he is getting out of jail. That's what they say. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be 100% true, but I'm going to play another countdown just to give me another minute for me to pull up my stuff. And then, yeah, we'll get started. Accidentally just clicked off my Wi-Fi by accident because I was trying to do something. So hopefully it didn't kick everybody out. Okay. But yes. So like I said, we're going to take a look. I don't think I've really kind of like dissected Donald Trump's chart. I won't dissect it like a whole lot. I know we're going to have an accurate birth time whenever it pertains to him, because normally politicians, those are the ones that we have birth time, because of course politicians, they're, all that information is going to be in the system. So yeah, so I'm actually going to, I had it up, but then like I said, I kind of panicked a little bit because I'm like, oh my God, I totally just clicked off my Wi-Fi and tried to do that. So we're gonna I pulled up his, just natal chart. So we're going to look at that in a minute. I feel like I've kind of possibly went over this a little bit, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. Okay. But I'm going to do the same thing I kind of did yesterday whenever it pertains to doing like a predictive chart or horary astrology on this. So even though he announced his run for presidency for 2024, even though he announced it last night, I'm asking the question right now. So we're just going to base a chart based off of me, looking at this whole thing right now. Okay. So Donald, I'm making the event chart right now so we can just see what's in here. I already said yesterday that I said it's possible a shell company has already been formed. And we already know what the point of the shell company is for. To what? Hide money. Okay. So I said that yesterday after you guys told me that he announced. So I don't know if this is actually a real thing or there may be another reason behind him deciding to run for president. But the cards are already saying that this should be a one and done situation. He shouldn't be trying to seek another term. He shouldn't be trying to go for another term. Okay, health issues did come up whenever I was looking at the card yesterday, but who knows what else could possibly be involved in this one when it pertains to him announcing his run. I mean, he filed the paperwork and everything. Okay, sometimes, they just throw the idea out there, but the paperwork was filed based off of what I actually saw. Okay, so we have the event chart is up. Okay, so actually, let me share my screen so you guys can see what I am looking at. Okay, good morning or afternoon, whatever time it is, to all of you guys that are watching, wherever you're watching at. Okay, so this is what I want to look at first. Make sure you guys can see that. Yes, so this is what I want to look at first, okay? The predictive chart that I made. So now, the first thing, of course, in this particular chart, I'm trying to make this smaller, but it's not going smaller. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to go bigger, isn't it? Yeah, that's too big. But so since it's so weird. The 28th degree, it is so weird. We had the 28th degree yesterday whenever it pertained to Blueface, and we had the 28th degree again today when it pertains to Donald. And it looks like it's in 28 degrees Cancer. So remember I talked about yesterday, the 28th degree of Cancer, okay? We're going to go back and we're just going to have a refresh. I forgot actually what the 28th degree is, okay? But 28th degree Cancer, it is restraint, intelligence, freedom gets taken, secret enemies. So if we're just looking at the 7th house, so in this particular chart, if we're doing predictive, okay? Predictive is just basically we're looking at where the planets are right now during this particular time, and we're going to try to make a best guess on what could possibly happen or what the outcome could be based off of where everything is at in this exact moment. Okay, that is a nutshell of this particular chart. We'll look at his natal chart in just a second. With that 28th degree Cancer, that's him. He's represented by the 7th, because I would technically be represented by the 1st house because I'm the one reading the chart. Okay, and he's represented by the 7th. Okay, so maybe if we're just going strictly off of the 28th degree of Cancer, maybe he could be right now. He's trying to avoid jail. We're just gonna put that out there because remember, 28th degree is a manner of freedom gets taken, but with his signifier, we all know that the moon belongs to Cancer. That's a given. Now, the moon is in Leo, so we can say right now, this is a very egotistical thing that he is doing. Now, in terms of his talking points, he may even be using talking points possibly pertaining to, so now, I don't know exactly what his talking points were the first time that he ran, but now his talking points may be revolving around taking the freedom away from, anybody at this particular point. It may not necessarily be towards a particular group of people. I mean, I don't know. It could be, but with the freedom being taken away, this feels like a very petty type of vibe to me. And I say because, again, he is possibly trying to avoid jail. Okay. But for some reason, this feels like somebody who wants to retaliate. Like, oh, you want to take my freedom away? Now I want to take your freedom away. And these are people that probably had nothing to do, they had no ill intention or whatever it is towards him, but he's immediately it's like he's targeting, and it doesn't matter who it is. Okay. I mean, possibly, his moon, his signifier is squaring Saturn. I also do get this energy here. He also is trying to save face. Okay, because maybe there may be a situation going on behind the scenes where he may possibly be under the impression something is going to come out, something that is probably going to be a situation, gonna be hard for you to give an explanation because we're not gonna want to hear it. So maybe in a manner, him announcing this could be in a way of him trying to save face. But like I said, I do feel like that he is in the hot seat because he feels like that his freedom is about to get taken away, or it has been taken away in some type of manner, but maybe we haven't heard about it. Because again, remember, the moon rules over the masses. Remember, I said yesterday, I said this time around, his big backing may be women. I got more so conservative women, but we just never know. Okay. Especially when it pertains to women in science. Okay. I don't know about technology, but more like science would be weird that would be that particular group that's going to back him. But that's just what I'm getting. But scientists and possibly celebrities, because Aquarius, celebrity industry. Okay. I said conservative. Shoot, maybe even the people who, I don't know, I'm getting like heavy QVC vibe, unless I don't know if a woman owns QVC or she's over QVC, but she may be one of the people who possibly may be backing him when we're talking about financially speaking. Okay. But I only say possibly trying to save face because his signifier in this particular chart, the moon, it's squaring Saturn in the first house. The first house, Aries, technically, but in this chart, it's the first house is Capricorn. But the first house, the face. Okay. And he probably doesn't even have like not an organization, but I don't think he even has somebody who's willing to sign on to run this campaign. I don't know if that is 100% true or not, but I could possibly say that it seems like he has sought out some people, but I'm getting a lot of no's here. Hence why I'm going to say face. So I don't know who he has on the list, who he possibly wants to run his campaign, but I don't think he has anybody right now. Now, the person that he may get, could be a scientist. This may possibly be a nuclear physicist. I don't know why I'm getting nuclear physicist, but to be honest, even if this is a nuclear physicist type of person who may try to help him in a manner, they don't need to be out there in the public because they're going to be tarnished as well. And come on, you spend a lot of years. That takes a lot of brain work, brain power to be a nuclear physicist. Why would you want to jeopardize that? You know what I'm saying? Okay. She may be kind of young. I'm actually getting 48. So we'll just have to see. Well, that is young to me compared to him. He's what, 73, 75, 76, something like that. But anyway, so we're back to his signifier, because remember we said his signifier is, seventh house and the opposite of Capricorn. Remember, if we're just going across the street, it's Cancer. Okay. His signifier is in the house of open enemies. So, if he was in the 12th house, then I might say he has no clue the people that are after his neck, but he absolutely has a clue because the 7th house is the house of open enemies. Okay. And he's at the 26th degree, which I believe is a Taurus degree. Okay. So again, maybe money grabbed. Look, I said money is already coming into him. That's my opinion. Okay. But now this may be a one-off situation. It could be, it could be one of those things here where somebody's promising or pledging something, but then may retract it. So maybe he's feeling good right now, possibly in regards to the money that could be coming to him in a way. However, it may just really be pledges. Now I feel like there possibly has been somebody who has gave him something. Okay. But a big portion or a big amount of money that he probably is expecting to receive. They may, like I said, pledge it, but it could be, oh, I changed my mind. So right now, this kind of gives a vibe where he is going off of the assumption of how things were when he ran the first time. Off of the assumption of, oh yeah, they're going to make good on their word. They're going to donate. They're going to give me this particular amount of money. But that may not be the case. Now, like I said, he is going to get some money. Okay. Again, I do feel like possibly some sort of shell company probably was already created. I would probably say earlier this year. because, and maybe he actually already made that decision, or this may have been in September whenever this company was created. I don't know if he probably wouldn't create it under his name, because that probably just would be dumb, especially if you're pretty much in the hot seat and your freedom could possibly be taken away or is being talked about. But remember, guys, I think I said last year or a couple lives back, I said in a manner, him running for president possibly could have been maybe one of the best decisions that he made in terms of legally speaking. Because think about it, whenever you run for president and you actually become president, you have certain protections that the average American does not have, because you were the leader of. So certain things are not going to touch you, because for crying out loud, you're the president, or you were the president. Okay. So that was just my opinion about that. Now let's look at Leo moon, 26 degrees. Okay, so a 26th degree of Leo, lack of control, violence, imprisonment, and tragedy, intoxication, destruction, things that I already mentioned yesterday. So as we are looking at this predictive chart right now, in terms of if Donald Trump will win, I said it yesterday, I was getting a no. I'm still getting a no on this particular chart, especially again, with him being signified by the moon at this 26th degree. This is probably, he went from making a good decision in terms of running for president and winning. And I'm talking about a good decision in a manner of protection, having that protection that, me and you just don't have. Okay. Now you're going to a bad decision. And I say bad, I mean bad, because right now his signifier is on imprint. But we could even maybe say that maybe publications or the media, they actually may be saying he needs to be in prison. So this feels like an energy here where more things may possibly be coming out. Okay. His moon is in the fixed sign. So he's not going to let up off of this, to be honest, even if it is a terrible idea, which I do feel like it is a terrible idea for him. But also his signifier is saying health issues. I called that yesterday. I said, even if we just look at it from a point of, just like, if it's healthy for you to do as, a person, no. So I would say he possibly is going through a destructive type of phase as well. And this is the thing I said before, I see this energy of him being petty. So if we want to play devil's advocate, not really, but let's just say hypothetically, if he possibly was to win, guess what the first thing he's going to do? Every single person that tried to imprison him or try to destroy him, he's going to come against you very, very hard, even if you're just doing your job. This is someone who feels to be on a revengeful type of streak, in my opinion, just based off of me looking at this chart. He wants revenge because he's in the hot seat, like I said before. So now he's just going to be going after any and everyone. Kind of just like, oh, you said one wrong thing about me. Don't think I didn't see it. Now I was like, I'm going to be okay. Maybe we could say that he kind of is like, sun, and we could probably say he's a sun, because sun is, male. So I would say in this instance, so his other signifier in this case would be the sun. Okay. Now the sun is making an aspect to the moon, but it's hitting another signifier that says no. Okay. Even the sun and the moon, with them separating from each other. Okay. And it's also in a square. Even this aspect is almost just like, let it go. Okay. Let it go. But Scorpio can be a sign of revenge, if we're going to be honest. Okay. Mercury is separating from the sun. Yeah. And Mercury, it's like even his talking points or even the way he's communicating is shitty. It's like, what are you talking about? You're just babbling. Okay. Like, what are you talking about? It's like a baby. You guys know that phase that babies go through, and it's just like, oh my God, what are you saying, child? It kind of gives me that vibe. Okay. Excuse me. So let's look at this sun in Scorpio. Oh crap. Let's look at this sun in Scorpio at 24 24 degrees. And then Sun is also hitting Jupiter. It's interesting. Okay. I would say possibly trying to revamp his career as well. Because his Sun is also hitting Jupiter in the second house of our finances, our shared resources. Okay. But I don't know. Scorpio, 24 degrees. Seizure, what I say? I said health. If you watched my live yesterday, you know what I put in this. Okay. Seizure, adventurous, cunning, benefits, selfishness. What I say, I called it. Remember I said yesterday, shell company. Scorpio is assets. People, we forget that very important thing. Assets, maybe accumulated assets, possibly in a manner, because Scorpio is naturally tied to the 8th house of shared resources. The 8th house is, think of it this way. The 8th house can be kind of just like your paycheck from your job, because literally it's like other people giving you money. Okay. Which I already called that. I already said it's not like he's not going to get money. He is going to get money. It may not necessarily be as much as he thinks, or like I said, they may do the okie doke on him and be like, oh, I'm going to pledge 24 million. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to pledge $24 million to your campaign. But he's not breaking it down and paying attention to the pledge doesn't mean guaranteed. Think about what Amber Heard did. Remember, she said she was going to pledge half of her divorce settlement from Johnny Depp to like the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. That check did not show up. So it's kind of like the same thing. Pledge doesn't mean guaranteed. So they may retract their donation. And it's possible because Jupiter, second house, is in retro. So they may possibly retract that. Okay. This is my opinion. This will probably never be confirmed. Okay. Again, that's the thing when it pertains to this. It's opinion. It's just educated guess. Okay. But intuitively speaking, I feel there may possibly be some sort of a deal that he has already signed, or he could be signing, and deal could do with money, like give up a certain amount of money to avoid jail time. That's my opinion. But the amount, it seems very high. So again, he's on the hot seat. You're damn near so close to prison, which I don't know if he's going to go to prison. I don't think so. Again, that would be something that has never been done in history ever, unless, I don't know, well, in the United States, president going to jail, that's never been done. Or maybe, I don't think so. If I remember my history correctly, I just don't think so. Okay. But with him, like I said, with me using the other signifier in this chart for him, which would be the sun, this is a lie. Maybe a part of him knows that he's not going to win, but he's being very cunning about this because it feels like there's some type of amount of money that he needs in order to get himself off of the hot seat. Okay. He needs the support. It's almost like the support is the decoy. Okay. The support from the people that are going to be going along with his campaign. That is the decoy to me. All right. But yes, he's being very cunning. And well, maybe this time around, I don't know. This time around, his appeal to a certain group of people may possibly change. Or his vitriol, his nastiness towards a certain group of people could possibly be this time. So if his nastiness was possibly towards the community or Latinos, could be Black people this time. It's like, number one, he's out of touch. Okay. And like I said, I do feel like a big portion of him is just, he's being petty. Okay. But also, okay, I know some of you guys may not want to hear it, but just based off of what he's doing, if he is looking at the world as a whole, And if the world is showing the nastiness or, the negative energy towards Black people or brown people or whatever, guess what? He's going to run with that. Even if that isn't necessarily what he believes deep down, I got to do something. Black people, brown people, be careful. It's going to seem, and I said this last night, it's going to seem nastier this time around to me, in my opinion. Okay? Don't fall for it. Nobody should fall for it. But really, I do feel like he's going to attack a certain group of people different than the one he had last time, but this time is going to be worse. Okay? He's trying to give the people what he thinks they want. Okay? I mean, oh my God, this is just terrible. You're trying, it's like all you can do is just shake your head. Seriously. All you can do is shake your head because this is crazy. But again, I'm getting a no. I guess the public would be maybe 11th house in this instance, even though you talked about the moon being tied to the masses. Okay. But let's see, 1, 2, 3. So the health issues, heart. Okay. But remember the 24th degree here says possibly seizure. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but health issues came up twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the public, I guess, or public opinion in this instance would possibly be represented by Scorpio. Mars is in Gemini. Okay, so Mars is in Gemini. Even the public is not really taking him serious. That's why I said there is possibly a shift that's going to happen in terms of he's about to attack someone soon if he hasn't started doing it already. Because of this energy here, like I said, the public or public opinion isn't really listening. Okay, they find it funny. They actually find him a joke. They possibly may find him childish. Okay, with that being in the 5th house. But let's look and see what Gemini 23 degrees is. I think 23 degrees isn't necessarily bad. Okay. But 23 bestows honors, especially when conjunct the midheaven. It affects the spine, another health issue, military. Okay, so we possibly may have military people support, and I already said like scientists or something like that. I was getting heavy conservative energy, conservative support, which of course, but those are a particular group of people that I am getting. Military people, possibly, oh yeah, I forgot. Celebrity industry, okay, or like I said, scientists. So those are the 3 groups of people that I'm getting in terms of supporters, okay, when it pertains to him. So the 23rd degree of Gemini isn't necessarily bad, but again, Mars is retrograding. Okay. So again, another signifier is like, even the public is kind of like saying no on this one. And that's right, because of course the planets are going to move, energy is going to shift. But that's what I'm getting right now. It's like a no. Okay. And I'm going to look at the 5th house. They're not going to tell me. What's the okay, let me see. Taurus is, okay, let me go to 9. Gemini 9 degrees. Weak lungs, often a violent death, attract dangerous enemies, homicide, healing. That's Gemini 9th degree. Another signifier of health issues. This is just so bad for his health. Okay. And this is from just a person. Bad for your health. Forget the whole politics or whatever party you want to run for. This is going to be so bad for your health. And maybe this could even have possibly been a thing if he ran again or consecutively after his last term. The health issues could have also been a huge thing as well. So maybe he took time off, or maybe he didn't run again, or he did run, didn't he? Yeah. Or maybe he was stopped from winning last time because of these health issues. And maybe it could have been something that he knew. So in a way, he may have possibly tried to take a step back and be like, okay, let me deal with these health issues and then let me come back again. But that's still selfish. Like, what's it going to take for you to just listen to the word no? Like, what's it going to take? What's it going to take? Okay. 17. Oh, another thing too. Scorpio 17. Let me scroll down. I need to look at that. Like, seriously, what's it going to take? Music, hermit, somber, jealousy, brave, suspicious. Okay. Again, like I said before, even the, I guess, maybe court of public opinion isn't really understanding this one. Okay. So for some reason, he thinks this time around that like people are going to be, I don't know, maybe more in their emotions in terms of like his campaign, which is why I feel like he's going to change up something about his rhetoric. He's going to change up something about his speech. And I feel like he may go after a particular group of people, which is going to be terrible because, again, the public opinion on this one, okay, not only are they suspicious of this whole thing, which everybody has a right to be, because like I said, this feels like possibly a money grab, shell company. There's probably already money in that bank, wherever the hell it's going. Okay. But the public opinion, oh yeah, suspicious, and I don't know where the jealousy energy would come in, but I would be the brave energy here when it pertains to public opinion could be that it's not good enough this time. Like what you said last time or whatever it was you did last time is not good enough. So like the public is maybe becoming more brave. You may even possibly have like the public people maybe attacking him more, which he was already getting like attacked before, but it may be from people that complimented him or praised him last time. They're maybe stepping into their bravery and kind of just like, no, it's not good enough, or no, period, I can't support you. And that could possibly be something that may shock the hell out of him. He's not necessarily going to know what to do with that, which is why I feel like he possibly is going to change it up. Okay. But yeah, the chart is saying no. The cards were saying no yesterday. So it feels like it's still a no. All right. So I guess I don't know if we should look at anything in particular when it pertains to his chart, but I guess since we're already on that screen, so we know Donald was born in the sign of Gemini, during the sign of Gemini. Okay. But you guys know I've said it before that I don't really pay super to the month because it's just, it's just there. He was born on the 14th. Now, the number, 14, if we break this down to a single digit, which is what you need to do in numerology. So if you are a numbers person like me, everything needs to be broken down to a single digit. That just makes it easier. Okay. It just makes it easier to understand. It just makes it easier when we're just talking about just information, period. So I'm breaking down the day that he was born, the number 14. I'm going to break that down to a 5. Now, in numerology, 5 is associated with Mercury. Okay. So enough. He's a Gemini. So where's his Mercury? Don't know. His Mercury is in Cancer, possibly a very emotional communicator. Okay. Maybe even somebody that possibly gets stuck in the past. Kind of just like, oh, well, in 57, I won the bowling championship. Or, back in 92, I had that idea that you have, and it's like, for me, whenever I look at his Mercury, and I haven't even looked at the degree, for me, whenever I look at this Mercury, this may be someone where he struggles to just let people have their moment because you have to bring up something that you did in the past. Okay. Well, self-centered, maybe, but that's not enough really to say he's like super self-centered. Okay. Because he may be, probably whatever. But yes, so I'm going to go to my cheat sheet. I think I still have it up. I'm going to go to our cheat sheet, guys. And this particular guide is available on my website. You don't have to pay for anything. It's under, you'll see it. It just says a cheat sheet. Okay. It has everything in there that I use right now. I have to add more to it, but I'll get there. Okay. So we go down to the number 5. Now, from this guide that I created, again, this is from a book that I use that was like published back in like the 70s, the 80s. Those are the good books. Okay. They got a lot of good information in there. I'm not saying the ones now aren't good, but I like those. Okay. I do like those. So in this guide, it says the number 5 also is signified with Taurus. Okay. So another energy of him possibly even talking about, why is that there? That doesn't need to be there. Put that. How do you? There it is. So we couldn't even possibly say his favorite thing may be to do what? Talk about money, possibly even the money that he made in the past. Or I could see this possibly being an energy of somebody where if he let you borrow money in the past, guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna talk about it. He's gonna bring up. It's like, bro, if you gave that out of the kindness of your heart, why do you keep bringing it up? Like, why does that need to be relevant in this conversation? Okay, you gave somebody money in the past. What does that have to do with us talking about baseball? Like, what does it have to do with anything? So this is now another thing as well, probably very witty when it probably comes to real estate, because Cancer or, fourth house energy totally gives me real estate type of vibes. Okay. I don't even know if maybe I could even possibly see him kind of like being that person. It's just my opinion. Like Amazon, he may have, if he was talking to Jeff Bezos, he'd probably been like, I had the idea for Amazon like in 32. In 1932, yeah, that was my idea. It's like, why you just can't let him have it? Why does it have to come across like, oh, I was going to do that, but it's like, can you not? Why you just can't let people just have it? Okay. But yeah. So anyway, his Mercury is in the 11th house, okay, in terms of the day that he was born. So it's not surprising that he's came in contact with so many celebrities, okay? He's communicated with so many celebrities because the 11th house, which normally is for Aquarius, again, said it before, celebrity industry, okay? Not surprising that he likes to throw a good part, because that is signified by his Mercury and Cancer in the 11th house as well, in my opinion, okay? Hold on. The little alarm thing is going off because it's 12 o'clock. It's irritating. But anyway, so, but his Mercury is also squaring his Neptune. He inflates his wealth. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, say, for example, he's worth 10 million. All of a sudden, he's worth 10 billion. Like, where'd you from? So I would say he inflates quite a bit. And he may possibly do that when it pertains to maybe banks. And that could be an issue if it hasn't already. Like, why are you inflating your wealth? And then possibly he does that to get loans. Okay. I don't know if he possibly has been before in the past, or, I don't know. Especially when it possibly pertains to real estate development, okay? Because he probably is, real estate developer. Maybe that should have been stopped, okay? But anyway, even in turn, and I bet you, even whenever it pertains to him being like president, he probably brings that up all the time. It's like, we don't need the resume. We freaking know president. I just feel like he just struggles when it comes to letting it go. Okay. Sorry. What is this? Anyway. I just feel like he struggles when it comes to letting it go. But I tell you, I do feel like he does inflate his wealth. Okay. Or he has done that maybe more times than we know, or more times than we can count. But back to him born on the 14th. Okay, let's read it. Let's read the 14th from a numerology standpoint. I'm going to pull up my other cheat sheet. Now, this I need to also add to the website. Maybe I already did. Anyway, but this gives you a breakdown what pretty much all the numbers mean. I think all the way to like 110. So it's good. It's a good resource. I use it all the time. Okay. So 14. This number is the Lord of the world of arts. Okay. People listen to their words and follow them, which is, look, I mean, that's not really shocking. We saw that play out. Okay. They are always people wherever they go. They are the uncrowned field of sales and production. Didn't I just say developer? Okay. Money from mass communication oriented business, not shock. And that show that he had, maybe that's where he made most or a big portion of his money. Okay. Because I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. I used to watch the show, but did it come on when I was middle school or high school? I'm not gonna lie. I used to watch the show more so for the people that was on the show, because the little task or whatever they had them doing was actually pretty interesting, and it was just interesting to see kind of like doing real world things. Okay, but anyway, so they are always on the wheels. Anyone pays heed to their words. All business begins from them. They achieve great politics. Okay. So him being on the 14th, maybe that's why this whole he was able to be president energy comes from. They struggle hard while young and achieve great success and prosperity as they advance in age, but they have to be careful with their love affairs. They may face dangers because of fire, electricity, lightning, floods, vehicles, and travel. Those who have the right name do not fall a victim to dangers. Many await to help them. They live a lucky life. They become people who are appreciated by many. Okay. So anyway, if we're just going based off of him being born on the 14th with the number 14, it's almost like he pretty much has like achieved that. Okay. He's already like accomplished that. Pretty much everything is said in the paragraph. Okay. That's why I said it's like a one and done situation for him when it pertains to him running for president. Okay. Now let's look and see what degree his Mercury Cancer is on. It's on the 8th degree. Now, the 8th degree is tied to Leo, okay? But it's also tied to Saturn, okay? Remember, I already talked about when it pertains to his communication, inflating the wealth, doesn't want to like let anybody else get their moment. It somehow has into it being about him or something about the past. It's irritating, okay? That's the word I would use for it. It's irritating. So let's look at his Cancer, Mercury 8 degrees. Okay. So Cancer 8 degrees, content, goodness, modest, successful, ambitious. Okay. Again, I already said that. You read number 14. And now we're looking at his Mercury in Cancer. We already got that. But the thing is, like I said, it squares. It not only squares his Chiron, it also squares his Neptune. He has to be very careful when it pertains to what he says. It's like that energy here where he feels like whatever I say is Bible. Like, no. But that's possibly part of something, karma, healing, whatever you want to call it, that he needs to settle in this lifetime, especially when it pertains to assets, possessions, money. But also remember, Taurus naturally, the second house rules over what? The throat. Okay. He just doesn't know how to shut up sometimes. And I bet you some people are kind of just like, will you just shut the hell up? Probably even when he was a small child. Same thing. Will you just shut the hell up? Okay. There's another word I was going to use, but I'll stick whenever I was about to say something else. But either way, okay. So Chiron, the wounded healer in Libra, someone also who he may not really find himself that attractive. Okay. So he probably has to rely on his mercurial talents, I guess, in order for him to get laid. Because my opinion, he's probably boring as shit in bed. My opinion. He has Saturn in Cancer, which I think Saturn is at fall in Cancer, or it might be at fall, or is in detriment in Cancer, because Saturn's at home in Capricorn. So the direct opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. So it may be in detriment. Yes, Saturn is in detriment in Cancer. Okay. I just said he's probably boring as hell. So he has to use communication, or with his time, with that being in the second house, it's just like at this point, honestly, guy, it's like I'm only sleeping with you because you're gonna give me money, like, and that's the thing. Because like I said, he may not necessarily really find himself attractive, and he may definitely be insecure about that, even though that may definitely be something that he's not going to say. The thing is, possibly whenever it pertains to the women that he dated, I don't want to call them prostitutes, but their past is very questionable in terms of like what they did. Okay. But like I said, I feel like they're just sleeping with him for money. But crazy, he may be very well aware of that, and he possibly just accepts it. So this is somebody where, it may have possibly been told to him from a young age. Maybe it's kind of just like, well, you're going to need money because you're just not attractive. I mean, that's pretty screwed up to say, but maybe somebody was that brutally honest with him. Okay. But anybody would guess that if you just looked at him and possibly looked at his wife. Okay. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, we already know what it is. But like I said, I don't want to say prostitutes, but I don't know, guys. Anyway, so I'm going to look at the degree that his Chiron is at in Libra. Libra is tied to the arts, of course. Libra is also tied to what? Partnerships, diplomacy. Another thing I would say that's interesting is, hold on, let me. Now, he also overpromises probably whenever it pertains to diplomacy. Okay. And I also would say he is a danger to diplomacy in terms of what he says. Maybe not necessarily what he may do, but when it pertains to what he says, you are a problem child to diplomacy, to democracy. That was right here in his chart. Okay. And possibly his friends, or if he has an older sibling, they probably stay away from him. Okay. They may possibly stay away from him because maybe they have that. They may be like, whenever I'm around him, bad stuff just happens. But a lot of it is his mouth. Okay. But yeah, Venus, art, music, beauty, luxury, jeweler, entertainment. Okay. Nobody should really take this. But see, the thing is, I don't know if he maybe was a jokester, not really taking anything seriously, even whenever he was younger, or he gives him that vibe where it's almost just like he seems like a menace, but he may call you a B. He may call you everywhere under the sun, and it could be like, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Like, I'll just go get my father. I'll just go get da 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 da. It's like he is a menace to society. A menace to society, even if outside of that, behind the scenes, when it pertains to, like I said, because I do feel like that he is a developer, if we're talking about probably real estate or something like that. So I'm not going to sit up here and be like, he has no good qualities, because that may probably be the one good quality that he has. Because if you want to see, I think talents are represented by the third house. Now, this chart can be a little bit, it may look a little bit confusing. It may look like the third house Scorpio, but technically the third house is, I think, Libra, because he should be he's a Leo rising. So 3 from Leo is Libra. Okay. So his talent is to beautify things, luxury, but also, like I said, it's hitting his Mercury in Cancer. So like I said, beautiful real estate or whatever it is. I'll give him that. But also he probably has a talent for finding, I don't know, a beautiful wife, I guess, if that's a talent. I mean, is it a talent? No, I don't know. Frick, I don't know. But yes. Okay. But back to my original point, like I said, I could possibly see him kind of like being like that. Like, what the hell are you going to do about it? What the hell are you going to do about it? So possibly him growing up, like I said, I could possibly see like his siblings avoiding him because of that energy right there. And it's almost like, dude, we shared the same father. But maybe him and his dad had like this special thing. I don't know if his dad would have considered Donald like his favorite, but I'm telling you, this one is a menace. Okay. Like, can't be stopped, because it's that energy of, I'm going to go tell my daddy, it's like Cartman from South Park. But anyway, So I guess we can look at the D in his theory. First name could possibly tell you about like your purpose or what you could do that could, align with, what's best for you. I don't know how else to explain that. So he has moon. D is associated with moon. I talked about this yesterday. So D is associated with Cancer, which means it's tied to the moon. Okay. And we all know on this one, the moon is tied to home life and the base of operations. Okay. Now, his moon is in Sagittarius. Okay. In the fourth house of what? Real estate, the home, the past. Hence why it's so funny. I said, I feel like this guy talks about the past a lot. So yes. Private. And that's another thing. He possibly went completely against what he was supposed to do. You were just supposed to be okay with being like private in a way, if that makes sense. Like you're just supposed to be okay with just getting a little bit of possible notoriety, not the whole shebang, but it's like you couldn't help yourself. Okay. So, and also Sagittarius is what? Publishing, the guru, the teacher, travel, right? Charity, education, language, foreign relations. Okay. Honestly, this gives me the energy of a guy where maybe even, I don't know, I hate to say this, but maybe even like the ambassador to a country or something. I'm not literally saying that would be it, but he may have success doing that. Like I go in to negotiate. His negotiation skills are, and oh yeah, maybe that's a skill. His negotiation skills are above par, in my opinion. Okay. And he does it privately. So that's why I said he may be the person that you send in to be like, okay, we can't get the sale. We need help. Send in Donald. Okay. So if that is pretty much tied to what he does, and I think television, may possibly a Sagittarius thing. I'm about to go look. Okay. Let me see if I can find it on this thing. Now, television is a Capricorn thing. I might fall over. Television. Hold on. Television, Sagittarius. Okay. All right. So yeah, he did like that. Like again, the television show that he had, it's like, yeah, that was. And that's why I said maybe he made a big chunk or a humongous portion of money from the television show. If he did, then my theory stands correct with his first letter being tied to Cancer, which is tied to the moon. His moon is in Sagittarius in the fourth house. It deals with real estate, but Sagittarius is also publishing, television. Okay. That was the kickoff to, I guess, his career. Right. Or maybe even like, like playing like I don't know, like playing the banker on a television show or something like that. That could have been something that would have been good for him. Not too much, but just enough. But he went for the juggler. And it wasn't smart. Even though he was successful. But again, I said it before, he may have did that to give himself protection. Okay, because based off of the predictive chart we pulled, he's cunning. He is cunning. All right. And well, of course, we know cunning can be bad, but for him, it's like he had a plan and he did it. And remember, I talked about before, even if he's tarnishing, even if he's going hard on a particular pill, it's all a part of the plan that he feels that the majority wants to listen to or wants to hear. So if the majority of people, okay, are, who knows, prejudice, whatever the hell it is, guess what he's going to go with? He's going to go with that, even if that isn't necessarily him. But that's just as bad because you are completely not even being who you are. But whatever. So let me look at his moon 21 degrees Sagittarius, which I think the 21st degree is a Sagittarius degree as well. Yes, it is. 21 degrees is a Sagittarius degree. So I would probably say luck publishing, luck television. Okay. Where am I looking? Where am I looking for? Oh, okay. So let's look at the 21st degree of Sagittarius. 21 degrees at strife, aggressive, eccentric. Okay. That kind of fits anyway. Okay. Very forceful. But remember, I said before that this feels like the person that you send in behind the scenes, whether whatever, to close the deal. But he has maybe kind of like some guerrilla tactics that, terrible, terrible, terrible. So, I mean, but whatever, he gets the sale, even though if you possibly get talked down by this person, okay, you may look up after you've signed the contract or signed the deal, and you could be like, whoa, what the hell did I sign? Okay, so that's something that, but again, like I said, maybe that is a skill. It seems like a skill for him. But either way, so, and his moon is opposing his Gemini Mercury. Gemini North Node. Ooh, excuse me. North Node and Gemini at 20 degrees. Let me look at that. We have honors, which can end in disaster. Look what we have. Look what we have, people. It's right there in the chart. Honors that ends with disaster. Didn't I already say it was a bad idea? We've been talking about that for months. And even in the chart, it's like confirming it. Get what you want, but it's bad for you. But I just said the same thing when it pertains to him coming in to be the one to close the deal. You'll get the sale, you'll sell it, whatever you need, but it's a bad deal. And you probably won't realize it until after the fact. Okay. We can say his purpose with his North Node being in house, career, but also the 10th house, I think, is government, leadership. 10th house, yeah, leadership, government, politics, manager, CEO, president, public figure. So it's almost like in a manner, even though he went for office, guess what? It just ended badly. It's not one of those where you go down probably in history as like a beacon or something like that accomplished something that makes everybody proud. Okay. It's like bad from the first day you enter the building. Like the energy just drops. Like everybody in the building already knows this can only end badly. Yeah. What else? Well, he has Leo ascendant at 29 degrees. Okay. His ascendant on that 29th degree is Regulus. Regulus is a fixed star. It is a star that represents the leadership. So again, not surprised, but whatever. Leo, 29 degrees. Didn't I say yesterday, guys, that I feel like he possibly has like an astrologer or whoever it is on his team? The 29th degree is somebody who has astrological ability, who is fortunate, who has leadership ability, but is self-centered. Okay? So if Donald, okay, if he has an astrologer on his team, fire them. Fire them. Seriously, they need to go. Because if you have an astrologer on your team, how the hell did they not see this? Okay. I think I said yesterday a spiritual advisor, but I think I threw in it may be somebody who reads a chart or something like that. But okay, last thing, and then I'll get questions on this one. So remember yesterday, we talked about last names. Okay. So we all know his last name is T. T is associated with Scorpio, which is also associated with Mars. Okay. So the letter T, well, Mars, Pluto. So we have transformation, power, death, rebirth, evolution. Maybe this is a coincidence. But with that rebirth, power, death, evolution, may not necessarily be surprising that there was somewhat of like an uprising, that insurrection that happened while he was still president. May not be surprising based off of if we're looking at last name. Remember, my theory is that it can possibly give you a glimpse of like the end or the later parts of your life. Okay. His Mars is in the 12th house again, but Mars is in the house of prison. I'm telling you, the public calls for him to go to prison. Oh, they want it real bad. I understand. Because like I said, he definitely inflates his wealth, okay? Maybe even a cheater in a manner. Fraud, definitely, because Mercury can be fraud, okay? And is squaring his Neptune. It's actually shocking that he hasn't been already locked up, okay? But remember I said that kind of energy that he gives me. I'm gonna tell my daddy, you know. It's like, and then here comes the dad people like, or it could be one of those things here, you know, I don't think his dad's alive, but it could be one of those things where you're still running off of the name or like whatever your dad did, even when he goes, and they're kind of just like, oh, well, your dad did this for me, your dad did that for me, so I'll let you slide. But wasn't there like a rumor, or was it verified that his dad was a part of the KKK? Was that verified? I mean, I remember that going around probably at the beginning, but I don't know if that was verified for certain. But if he is, would I be shocked? No. Do you know how old Donald Trump is? Then that means his dad was pretty much born during what? Slavery? Okay. I wouldn't be shocked. But anyway, so like I said, his Mars is in Leo, in the house of losses, the house of affairs, the house of affairs, okay? Cheaters, even though Neptune can represent cheaters. Shockingly enough, I don't think he drinks. I don't really grasp that, to be honest, from him. Like, I don't really think he drinks. I'm not really getting that vibe from him. I could be wrong. Okay. What else? Hold on. But also the 12th house can be a house of charity as well. I talked about it yesterday. Protection, hospitals, foreign lands. Okay. Have they revoked his passport? Because if they've revoked his passport, I would possibly say that he may be someone where he may flee to foreign lands, okay? Or exile. He could be exiled to foreign lands. So it may not necessarily be a voluntary plea, okay? He could be exiled in a way. But there could definitely be energy behind him or somebody behind him trying to make sure that does not happen. All right. So let's look at his Mars. Remember, we're talking about right now his last name. Okay, of course, last name, letter T. T is for Scorpio. Scorpio ruler is Mars, but also Scorpio is Pluto. He has both of his signifiers for his last 12th house. There's no way this could end good for him. Even if it's, house arrest. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's been on before. But what if he was like literally on house arrest and we never freaking knew about it? Like, seriously, we never knew. Like, they sealed it or something like that. Never knew. That would be crazy, but wouldn't be surprising to me. Anyway, Mars 6 degrees, and then I'll look at his Pluto as well. And of course, we know Pluto represents insurance, surveillance, risk management, death investigator. So it's not shocking again that he's under strict, heavy investigation. Okay. And I would say this, he may not have necessarily been under investigation if it wasn't for the public, but he may have pissed off somebody who is the head of a government, and they may have made a call and be like, investigate this chump. It could have been like that. This is just a feeling. Canada's prime minister But let's look at the Mars Leo 26 degrees. Let's see. 26 degrees of Leo is lack of control, violence, imprisonment, right? Oh, yeah, we talked about this earlier. Lack of control, violence, imprisonment, tragedy, intoxication, destruction. Now, I remember I said I don't really nab him for a drinker, but I don't know if he possibly becomes one. I just don't think so. But, I have to put it out there because it could be a possibility. I just don't really get him as being that, but due to possibly nervousness or anxiety, it may not be alcohol, though. Maybe his drug is like luxury or money or, I don't know, could be gold. Shoot, I don't know. Pills, planes, and automobiles. It could be. But either way, not good. With his Mars being in the 12th house at the 26th degree of Leo. And it's so weird how our predictive astrology chart, with him being the moon in that chart, showed him being at 26 degrees Leo. And look here, his Mars, which we're using this theory for the end of his life or when he gets older, is at 26 degrees Leo. It's literally knocking on his door. But, I don't want to say that. Well, what if, before that even happens, what if he's just like not here anymore? Before that actually happens, Or I don't want to say it. I don't. Okay. It kind of gives me the vibe like if that was supposed to happen, if it got to that point, and if that does happen, it will be a pretty severe sentence. I possibly see him telling somebody, just put me to sleep. Just like give me something, put me to sleep, and I'm done. Allegedly. That would just be my opinion, how I feel like that may possibly transpire. Now let's look at his Pluto at 10 degrees Leo. We have self-indulgence, extravagant habits, sociable. Okay. So again, if we're looking at that energy here about possibly towards the end of his life, maybe throwing more parties. Okay. This kind of gives me, I don't know if it's happening, maybe behind the scenes, maybe like Dubai, the people that run Dubai. Maybe private parties, because the 12th house we definitely can't see. It's like confinement. Okay. It's like, I don't even know the other word, but yes, I don't know if he's possibly turning to those men to help him, but maybe. Okay. 12th. And the crazy thing is he possibly parties with a lot of his hidden enemies, but he just, I don't know. I can't necessarily say he doesn't know that they're enemies, though. This is someone who's kind of just like, they may be like, I know that this person hates me, but let me offer them something so that we could possibly maybe meet in the middle. Like I'll dance. It's almost like I'll dance with the devil. I know the devil. I know who he is. I see him right there. He's the devil, He is bold. Okay. I don't think he's really scared though. Like he knows he's wrong. He knows all those things, but it's like the lack of fear is astonishing. I don't really know how anybody is not, crapping their pants with this here, but for some reason he's not. I would be. I really would. Okay. What was the rest of that? And let me look at the 12th house, what degree it's on. Oh, he's a full moon baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. 1 degree Leo, 12th house. Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah. His, where'd it go? 1st degree Leo, weakness, changes their opinion often. We talked about that. Sentimental, dependent, depression. I think I kind of hinted at that. I said if he's not really a drinker or somebody like that, I could possibly see him turning to, certain things, maybe in a way to help him cope, because So again, if I was like, reading his chart or something like that to him, I probably would have made note of this earlier on. Like, this is what you're possibly looking at as you get older. And yeah, this is what you're looking at. I don't even know how you could possibly change this course. Really. I mean, I guess you could, but just being a better person, I guess you could. But and that's why I said I kind of get this lack of fear from the manner in a way that he's dangerous, because his opinion is based off of like the public, like I said. So whatever the mass opinion of anything is, that becomes his opinion. That's a very dangerous person. Because if the mass opinion of people is let's go to war, he's going to say, let's go to war. Very dangerous. But that can be something that you can change. You have to be careful. I mean, just snake behavior, if we're just going to be honest. Snake behavior. Well, questions. I think we're pretty much done on that one. Questions. I don't know if you guys have questions. What is it, K? Okay. Okay. He doesn't drink. I kind of was getting that. I didn't think he really drank. I didn't really get that from the chart. Oh my God. No. Okay, guys. I get the point, but you guys know when it pertains. I get the point. Okay. I completely understand I completely understand the opinions on this guy. I read it in the chart. I get that. But you guys know how I am. I'm going to be on the paper about it. It's just like, whatever, I can't sit up here and expect him to be who he is not, if that makes sense. He is a guy that was born in damn near the early 1900s. I can't expect him to be nobody but who he was born or who he was molded to be. I can't expect him to be anybody else than that. I really can't. I can't. It wouldn't make any sense. I would be silly to think that he's not going to give the energy of somebody born like early 1900s. I mean, I'm just not, it wouldn't make any sense to me, even though he was born like, 1940, 30, whatever it is. But I'm just saying. That's why I guess it probably doesn't bother me, because it's like, I know. But yes. So yeah, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, it ain't gonna happen. He's gonna be who he's gonna be. If you were raised up to be like that, that's what it is. Okay, what can I do about that? That's what it is. That's actually a good point. That is actually a good point that you just made, Lisa. That is a good point you made. It's a lemon. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, maybe he should have owned car dealerships, because damn, his sales would have been through the roof. But like you said, it's a lemon. Okay. Why are these things popping in here? I don't know. Sorry, there's like spamming. I'm trying to like get the spam out of here. Oh my God. Stay positive. What is wrong with you guys? I just don't understand. Something is just, I don't understand. If you guys, I don't know if you guys are able to report spam. Can you guys okay. If you guys can help me out with that, that would be great. Oh, wow. Look at that. Like all of the chats went away. Isn't that weird? When I said, if you guys can help report spam, all went away. So I don't happen. Dang. That's unfortunate. And that's kind of weird that all of the chat went away. Okay. Those of you that are new over here, okay, I know it may seem, what I don't even know the word is, but I don't pander, I don't kiss ass, I don't give a shit if you're Jesus. What the fuck I look like to you? I mean, I don't do it. So if you don't like it, my door never closes. The door is always open. I never close that door because you don't have to be here. Okay. So I gave my opinion on it. Okay. I gave some good points. I feel like whenever it pertains to the former head of state or however the hell you want to call it. I mean, that's just what it is. I gave fair points. But I'm not going to sit up here and do this with y'all. I don't care. You know what you can do? Pull up the chart yourself and fucking read it. Or you can get in your car and you can more than gladly go down to wherever he lives and you can see if he gives a damn enough to address you. Okay? Because like I said, he is a menace and a half. He really is. And it's unfortunate because you know where this came from? This came from condition. I feel like this came from conditioning. This came from just the way he was raised. Nobody can reverse that. I don't care if you tell him you won't make it to the gates, the pearly gates. He doesn't care. But this is based off of just how he was raised. And what can you do about it? People, there are a lot of people who just were not raised correctly. Is that their fault? No. But they can always change it to be better. But hey, you don't want to be better? That's on you. That's on you. That's you. Okay. Yeah, I hate the fact I can't see the other questions that you guys have, because I know some of you guys had questions. Thank you. That's a fact. Thank you. I mean, maybe some, but then again, I don't know, because like I said, just based off of the chart, I do feel like he is just somebody where his opinion just changes based off of the masses. So like I said, I hate to say this, but if his dad was possibly, because I don't know if somebody confirmed that he was or not, if his dad was possibly a part of, the KKK, and if the mass majority of people's opinion was for the KKK, what you think he's going to say? He's for it too. This is a dangerous person in that regard. Even if underneath he wants to do something different or be better, it's just not going to happen. It's just not in him. I don't think. Okay. It's just not in him. And that's unfortunate. It really is, because it shouldn't be a thing. But okay, a lot of people, a lot of things in the world is dark. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But we tell ourselves what we want to believe because it's easier than accepting the truth of the situation. Because if you accept look, guys, if the world was 100% truth, having to accept it all the time, it would be a sad world, wouldn't it? Okay. Yeah, it would. But anyway, so Lisa, what was your question? I can't see it. If I probably play the video back, I'll probably be able to see it. But if you put a question earlier before, I just cannot see it. I really wish I could. As soon as I tried to get rid of the spammers in here, for some reason, the whole chat went away. That is just weird. But anyway, Yolanda, if his daughter is not going to support his run, how will he fare? That's a good question. I saw that earlier, that Ivanka is just like, no. So we probably have to pull the tarot cards whenever it comes to Ivanka, because I really don't feel like pulling her chart. But she probably is in agreement, maybe a little bit of what I said. Okay. She probably is in agreement a little bit of what I said about, this is just not going to fare well. All right. Oh, yeah. I immediately heard her say, she said it's a sham. I heard it. She's like, it's a sham. It's just like, wow. Which I said that yesterday and a little bit earlier. We'll see. It's like even she knows, which is crazy. Well, I mean, I guess it's not really crazy because he probably tells her everything. Six of Cups. And she also is giving me the vibe where she really didn't like it. Like she didn't really like being in the White House. She didn't like it, which I don't know why. I mean, hey, how many presidents have lived in that White House? You know, they've renovated and stuff like that. But the energy that probably walks those halls at night, the energy that probably is in that building, it probably would scare anybody if you are like, you know, not on the up and up. Okay. You probably have like nightmares and everything. Okay. You probably got nightmares of everything being in there. 3 of Cups. Okay. Okay, you have 3 threes here. Okay, High Priestess, Ace. Yeah, he's definitely getting money. Even she's kind of saying what I just said. She's giving me the energy. Remember, I said some sort of powerful woman or some sort of woman may be behind him whenever it pertains to like his campaign. She's bringing up the same woman. Now, it's hard to pinpoint exactly who this woman is, but the Justice card came in and the Moon came in, but the Moon is in reverse. I see the Justice card and the Moon, then it's not on the up and up whenever it pertains to law, court, legal, anything. Okay. It's almost just like, I don't know why I want to say death before dishonor, but maybe that could be kind of like the motto here in this particular instance when it pertains to him. And she also feels like, you know, she doesn't really, it's weird when I say she feels like this is a sham, but also at the same time, she's kind of just like, she doesn't know what his purpose is of doing this again. Okay. So, and she's giving me kind of like conflicting messages, but the bigger picture, I kind of see what she's saying. Ace of Wands. She also, not saying that her marriage is in trouble, but that may possibly be a reason as well. Like her marriage may possibly not necessarily be in a good space. And that may be another reason why she is like, oh, I don't want to do it. Okay. And she actually may be trying to keep tabs on her husband. I don't know if there's something going on behind the scenes that, you know, we probably don't know, but it's kind of coming across like she's trying to keep tabs on her husband. I don't know what he's doing. All right. The Emperor's in reverse, the Hangman. Yeah, I mean, she's starting to see her dad like a child more and more every day. Okay. I don't think she has any more strings to pull at this particular point when it pertains to her dad and legal stuff. Because, I mean, this may seem like a far-fetched assumption, but maybe it feels like Ivanka actually pulls some strings when it pertains to his legal issues, which is weird because I would think that it would be her dad would be the one that would be able to pull the strings because he has like all these acquaintances or whatever. But apparently she has an acquaintance or more than one where she can turn to that could be help when it pertains to the legal situation. Yeah, even she's saying the public doesn't really love him, which is what I was just talking about anyway. The public doesn't really love him. The public doesn't really care for him. Okay. And she also feels like, again, I'm getting die with the lie type of energy, definitely. Okay. But she is kind of giving me this vibe like something is coming. But remember, I talked about that in the predictive chart, the first one that I did, that something may be coming because the Ace of Swords and the Tower is coming out straight upright. The Ace of Swords is reality. Okay. The ace is the purest one out of all the aces because it goes with reality. You can't escape it. It is what it is. It's the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help you God. Okay. So yeah. I know, isn't that crazy? Because that's exactly what's happening here. Yeah, she wants to be at home now, but I really do feel like she's trying to keep up with her husband. He's doing something that he possibly should be doing. Okay. And I hate to say it, but I think he's dealing with some, well, I'm actually hearing she's saying whores, but it may be that deep. Okay. Like it's getting out of hand. So yeah. But again, even Ivanka is kind of just like, And honestly, I don't know if she's been flying back, but one of her or her husband has been flying back and forth to England. I don't know if they're maybe trying to set up shop or something over there. Okay. But she could be moving. All right. Could be 6 to 8 months, 6 to 8 weeks. We probably won't really know about this. All right. Oh, is she going to write a book? She may. Or her dad is actually thinking about writing a book. It's either her or her dad. One of the two is going to write a book about this. I think a book deal actually already been offered, or this actually will be offered in 2023. Okay. Yeah. And I'm actually getting like somebody getting kicked out of public school. Maybe one of her kids got kicked, not public school. One of her kids getting kicked out of school. Maybe because of this. Okay. And is this even a thing? Not denouncing, that's not the word, but it kind of gives me this vibe of like, say you belong to the church. It feels like maybe she's Catholic, but can they kick you out of church? Is that possible? Because if they can kick you out of church, it's almost just like she's on the brink of getting kicked out of church. If that is even, now that would just be screwed up if they could just kick you out of church, but it could possibly end up being that bad. But remember I said before, you guys, that his rhetoric is going to change if it isn't starting to do that already, in terms of like certain things, like just becoming more nasty. Okay. I feel like, they can kick you out of church. Yeah. I think she's going to get kicked out of church. I don't know if there's going to be something that's going to come out, or there's possibly going to be, unless it gets caught on video. It feels like a story about she was turned away from church because of being affiliated with her dad. Okay. Because like I said, I feel like this time around, he's going to get nasty, like nasty. Okay. In a way, like he was nasty before. But I feel like, or some people may not have thought he was being nasty. Okay. But I feel like this time, it seems like it's going to be more than the first time, which would not be good on his part. Okay. But remember what I said before, energetically speaking, he's going off of the majority of opinion, where the opinion is going. So if we have a majority of people that are going towards a direction of nastiness, okay, you guys know what the nastiness is I'm talking about. That's what he is going to run on. It's not good for the country. Even if he was running for a president or prime minister somewhere else, it's just no bueno. Okay. Okay. I don't know why she would convert to that, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't read her chart, but even if it's not in her chart, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know. Was that a recent conversion? Okay. Was that recent, or how long has she been on that side of the thing? Okay. I mean, I don't know. But that kind of makes sense. Remember I just said it's like she's pulled some strings that her dad wasn't able to pull. So if she is now, Jewish, that would make sense. You guys know what's been going on, what Kanye said, what Kyrie said, So, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not in that circle. I'm at home. Okay. So that's interesting. But if that's the case, it doesn't surprise me then now that you just said that she would pull some strings that he just cannot pull. Okay. Maybe that's why he hasn't went down like he possibly could. DeSantis, is that the one from Florida? What is he, governor, or is he governor? I don't know. I don't know if he's governor or not. Because I know his first name is Ron. I know that, but I don't remember if he's governor. I think he is governor. Okay. I don't know if he's going to run for president, but I'll see. Okay. He actually feels a little bit blindsided. He feels blindsided, possibly by Donald, because it feels like Donald like took his nomination or something like that, or Donald may possibly take his nomination. Like he's feeling like, well, number one, people are trying to bully him into running, or that's the way he's saying it. Like people are trying to force him, people are trying to bully him into running. Okay. But he has a bone to pick with Donald, which it feels like the bone that he wants to pick with him is kind of just like, why would you do that? You knew I was going to run. You knew I was going to announce. Like, why would you do that? It's like, are you joking? Like, this is what you guys are going back and forth about? It's weird. Like, you're going back and forth about this. Seriously? It's like two kids back and forth. Well, mom said I could do it first. Now you get to do it first. Like, are you joking? It's weird. Like, stop doing that. Should have had this up at the beginning. You guys already know what it is. You know that these are just for entertainment purposes only. Okay. But it's just weird. All right. And he also feels like he's gonna lose, because it almost comes across like he and Donald may have possibly had a deal, or there was some sort of deal here where it's almost just like he was supposed to run. And what I say, people, what happens? Donald does what? He changes with the wind. Okay. He changes based off of the opinion at that time. So even if he shook hands with DeSantis and they were just like, okay, yeah, he's going to run, he lied. Okay. He lied to him, lied straight to his face. So now he's in his energy here where it's almost like he feels like he's going to lose. Like, what would be the point now? Because you kind of just like, you went up in there. Okay. But he still may try, though. He still may try to run for president. But the consensus here kind of feels like a no. All right. Okay, Four of Pentacles, Cups, Three of Wands, the Devil, Three of Swords, the Sun. The thing is, the thing about this particular person, the thing about Ron, okay, that maybe I have to respect it a little bit. I don't really get the vibe here of him being a liar. So I don't know if I can use this as an example. So if this is somebody who believes that slavery was needed, he's going to say it. Okay. Even if it's just like, that is so messed up. He doesn't care. I'm going to say it. Okay. It's like, I'm just not really getting that. Like, if he doesn't believe in, abortion, or if he doesn't believe in trans rights, good freaking luck trying to convince him otherwise, because he's just not going to do that. He's going to go with how he truly feels about that. So, if he feels that, same-sex marriage shouldn't be a thing, guess what? He's going to say it. He's not going to beat around the bush and try to make you think that, I do believe in same-sex marriage, even though truly he doesn't. I don't really get that from him. He sucks at lying, which is why I feel like, he's going to say it. Like, if he tries to lie, you could tell him, it's like, it's not even going to come off right. It's going to be like, oh, you're lying. You're lying. So if that is him, again, I haven't really listened to his politics. Okay. If I haven't really listened to his politics, but I'm going to give him that. And you guys know how I am. I'm going to give it all, the good with the bad. And even though that may be bad, even though he may be ridiculous when it pertains to his opinions, I have to respect the fact that he is saying how he truly feels. And you don't have to second guess that. So again, if he feels like, you know, like, again, I already gave the example. If he feels like all those things, then that's what it is. So I have to respect it. Okay? I have to respect that. Even if I may not care for him as a person, I got to give him that. Because a lot of politicians will definitely just be like, you know, oh yeah, I completely agree in same-sex marriage. But at home, they talking to their husbands and they're like damning everybody to hell because you want to be with the same gender. See, no, not this one. If you caught him on a hot mic, you're not going to hear anything different than what he's already said. Now, you may hear some, you know, some cuss words and some other things in there, but it's not really going to change from what he already said. Okay. Yeah, Yolanda, right there. So he said exactly how he felt. And he's not lying about that. So even though, you know, he may be evil, shockingly enough, he comes across as the devil in reverse. But he comes across as the devil in reverse because guess what? He's not letting other people sway him from his truth, even though he could be a shitty person. He's not swaying from his truth, even if it's wrong. So I have to give him some credit. I really do, even though I don't want to. I may not want to because I haven't really looked at his politics. I haven't really looked at, you know, what the bills are that he has okayed. I might have to do that someday, but right now I just don't really care enough to look. But yes, okay. Judgment. And you know, oddly enough, I don't really think he wanted to be in politics, which is weird, which is not really weird, which is interesting because I literally just said a minute ago that somebody's trying to force him to run for president. It's like the same thing here when it pertains to being in politics. It's like he was pushed into it, but I don't think that he really wanted to run politics, to be a politician. I think he much have rather been just a regular businessman or been in charge of a corporation. Okay, it doesn't give me that vibe where it's like, yeah, I grew up and I wanted to run to be a politician. I don't really get that. Okay, I do not really get that. So again, the way that it's coming across, his morals are strong. This is just based off of who he is. Okay, and again, may not like it, but the universe is saying that he's like doing the right thing, I guess, in terms of him just being honest. So I respect it, really. I can't really say anything super, super bad about that because we need more of that. Tell me who you are so I know what box to place you in. And that's who he is. He's telling us who he is. Okay? Yeah. Oddly enough, it's almost just like he much rather, like, not necessarily be at home, but he would much rather leave the politics behind him, just from what I'm seeing. He would much rather do that. Okay. So, yes. So, hey, if his politics are probably shitty, to be honest, in terms of what he backs and stuff like that, it's probably so 1945 vibes, but whatever. It's who he is. Okay. So the least we can do when it comes to DeSantis, we can at least clap him up for sticking to who he is. And I think that's probably what he does, why he doesn't want to be president, because that would have to go out the window. Okay. Any other questions that we have about Donald's chart? I still have it up in the background. Okay. I still have it up in the background so we can go back through Kari Lake. I don't know who the hell that person is, but I don't know if we should do, not a marathon, but I don't know if we should do a couple of videos on maybe people that are currently in the political sphere, and not doing a chart on like their politics, but just doing a chart on what they're about. Like how we looked at Donald and how I said this person should be maybe feared in a manner because he's hell on wheels. The way he flip-flops is probably not shocking because I don't know. It's just he flip-flops. And that makes a very dangerous person, especially somebody very dangerous who runs the country. Okay. Yolanda, you came in late. I didn't look exactly at his health, but based off of the first chart that I did, yes, I did bring up his health. It came up in 4 or 5 different aspects that he's having health issues. Okay. It also came up in a manner when it pertains to possibly the end of his life or as he progresses, how things are going to be when he gets older. Okay. So I kind of did. And I said yesterday it's not going to be good for his health. And it came up again in 2 separate charts, natal chart and the one that I pulled. Okay. What's her name again? Kari Lake. She lost the governorship in Arizona and she is vicious. Again, I don't know anything about this woman. Okay, so I would have to pull the chart. You guys do this every time. Hold on, I'm gonna see. I don't think her chart is gonna be in this system, to be honest. Because if she hasn't been like in politics for a while, they normally don't have her chart saved in this system, but maybe she has been. No, she's not in here. No, she's not in here. Nope. I don't think they have natal chart saved. Hold on. Natal chart. I don't know. The astrology of Kari Lake. I don't know if did they just put this in here? She's a Libra. September? No. Yeah, she's a Libra. September the 30th, 69. Apparently they say she has a Libra stellium. Oh, her Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, Uranus are all conjunct in the sign of Libra. How did they get to that? Like, where's the chart? It's not loading. Why is the chart not here? It's not loading. Like, what the hell is that? Win the argument? I'm going to go see if they have it somewhere else, but apparently she has a Libra stellium. That's what they say. Maybe Wikipedia will give me her stats. Or we may just have to save this for another video, guys, because it doesn't show me her time of birth, which would make it a little difficult. Okay, but she's Illinois. She was born in Illinois, so why the hell is she in Arizona? I don't know. Is that on purpose? I'm just curious. Is that on purpose? I don't have a birth time, so I can't really do a lot like I can with Donald. But Rockland, Illinois. No, it's something with an R. Rock Island. Okay, Rock Island, Illinois. Rock Island, Illinois. She's September the 30th, 1969. I just had to use 12 p.m. Yeah, she does have a Libra stellium. She has Pluto in Virgo, which that's generational. Apparently, possibly, she has Venus in Virgo, Moon in Gemini. That's the shiftiness. But that also possibly, if Donald is a fan of hers, that makes sense because that would technically mean that her moon is sitting on top of his sun. Because he's Sun in Gemini, she would be Moon in Gemini. So it's sitting right on top of each other. Okay. So yeah. She has Neptune. Well, probably not necessarily 100% correct because again, we don't have her birth time, but she has Neptune in the 12th. Okay. Lying. I don't know how she is whenever she loses, but she may be one of those people where if she loses, it could be fair and square. Then here she goes. It was all a lie. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. I was like, good God. I don't know if she is that type where if she loses automatically, it's like, oh, you're lying. They're a liar. That's why I lost. They're a liar. Like, okay. Possibly ascendant in Sagittarius. I don't know how true that one would be though. Mars in Capricorn, Saturn in Taurus, North Node in the third house in Pisces. Well, I guess her being in politics would be signified by her Libra stellium, which would make sense. Okay. That would make sense as to her being in politics. But she's a K, so that would mean Saturn and Uranus, right? Uranus is in Libra. I probably have to dissect her chart another time, okay? I really need to find out, if I can, what time she was actually born. That's really going to help a lot. It's really going to help a lot. You're like, dang, why I can't get her birth time? It should be this difficult. Like, she's in politics, but like I said, if she's kind of like new to the political sphere, that may be why her birth time just isn't there, you know? Yeah, nope. Still can't get it. Her profession is a journalist. Let me go back to that chart. I can see that her North Node is in the third house. Remember, North Node purpose, Saturn destiny. So her North Node being in the third house of journalism, because the third house belongs to Gemini, Mercury, that makes sense. Okay. Saturn in the fifth house. Why is she in politics? This is the question. Like, who the hell told her go to politics? Even though her being in there makes sense, why? I guess, if that makes, I don't know how to properly explain this. It's like, okay, I can see why you're in politics, but why are you there? It's not given what it's supposed to give. Okay. And she's on the 30th. It's just not giving what it's supposed to give. Like, what's the thing here? I'm missing it. Okay. Well, I'm looking at the numerology here for 30. Esoteric powers easily. They possess all the psychological powers that are the result of mental discipline. Oh, maybe that's it. They have a fertile imagination. They have knowledge of the sciences. They are endowed with the powers of thought. Oh, she's a powerful manifester. Okay. That would make sense. I think her Neptune and her Uranus are actually making an aspect to each other. Once I look for it, Neptune sextile Pluto. Yeah, that'll do it. Neptune, I feel like Neptune and Uranus may conjunct, but either way, Neptune sextile again, Pluto, that'll do it. Oh, Mercury conjunct Uranus. Oh yeah, she manifested this. Like, I can see how she's there, but why is she there? She manifested this because she has the signifiers of a powerful manifester, and it even says it right there in her numerology for the number 30 because she was born on the 30th. She's endowed with the powers of thought. She has esoteric powers. They do anything as dictated by their own mind. They have rare powers. Esoteric powers like yoga, Vedic arts, ritualistic excellence, and sanctification are always within reach. Like Lizzo. Lizzo manifested herself into being like a musician, like how she is. Even if that wasn't really on the trajectory, she manifested it. Yeah. I'm going to have to dig into her chart like more a little later, but I just wanted to see the tad. Okay. Oh, Stacey Abrams is probably a good one. She's probably a good one. But yeah, the girl, Kari, she is powerful in the metaphysical. Probably born with it. You know, maybe she comes from a long line of that. I probably have to do a past life reading on her. Maybe not necessarily a natal chart reading, but it might have to be a past life reading. So maybe the next one we'll do is Stacey Abrams. I don't know if it'll be later on today or it could be tomorrow. But yes, she keeps losing. I've heard things about Stacey Abrams in a manner in terms of, you know, they really don't think she's down like she claims to be, but I don't know if that's true or not. We'll just have to see. Okay. But I appreciate you guys for popping in here, staying with me through this. Okay. I'll have to do Ms. Cardi later on. Okay. Because she may be a metaphysical queen. We'll have to see. But yes, I'll see you guys on the next